Sign up to the SBR Network and use your free daily bet points to earn real-world prizes. Click on the page and start winning now.
Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. We have a big weekend of NBA action, and one of the final games on Sunday night is the Brooklyn Nets and the Toronto Raptors here from Brooklyn, New York. Game 4 with the Nets leading 2-1, and the Nets come in also as a favorite in this game at -4 points, total of 192. Now, if Brooklyn takes a commanding 3-1 series lead, I think you can say goodnight to the Raptors, so you can almost believe that this is going to be looking at it as a must-win by the Toronto team. But Sunday night should be a pretty good game here with a 4-point spread, but I'm not really excited by either side of this spread. I think it's a pretty sharp number. Instead, I'm looking at the total at 192, and I think it could have some serious value on the under tonight. 192 seems to be a bit inflated between these two clubs, and even though the over has cashed in the last two meetings, these two teams are very capable of playing very good defense, especially Toronto Raptors, who will be looking to be probably as close to desperation mode as you've seen them this season in this game. And I think they're going to try to buckle down defensively against the Brooklyn Nets. Now, Brooklyn doesn't play really fast, so it really all comes down to getting stops for Toronto. But for Brooklyn, we've seen the power of their defense in crunch time, and I think we'll still see that once again, because they, like a veteran team should, will be looking to put Toronto out of its misery, heading into get a 3-1 lead heading back to Toronto, because very hard to come back from a 3-1 deficit, as we know, in any sport. But both teams' defense, even though they haven't played great, like I said, I don't think that's a trend that you need to really be following like the over. Just because these two teams have given up close to 100 points per game recently in their averages, not only in the postseason but the regular season as well, dating back around the last 10 games, should have the ability to get stops as one another. And as we see throughout the playoffs, as a series goes on, the totals get lower and the final scores get lower as well, because teams are buckling down on defense, because every passing game grows with more importance. So the playoff schedule, I also think, has a lot to do with why the under could be a pretty good play on this Sunday night here between the Nets and the Raptors. The Brooklyn Nets, especially, a very veteran team. You'd really expect them to be the ones that benefit most from the rest here, as opposed to inexperienced Raptors, with the Nets getting at least a game, if not 2 games, in between each playoff game. Going to really improve their defensive numbers as well here, especially with 2 to 3 days off, even though they haven't had that much between these 2 games. With 2 to 3 days off this season, Brooklyn is 10-7-2 cashing the under. So you can see that the more they cash the under, with the more days they have off, the more they cash the under, it seems. So I like the Nets here, rested to cash the under against the Raptors here at 192. I think the number is just a bit too high between these two clubs, and with how important this game 4 is in Brooklyn, I think you see a pretty good defensive showing by both clubs. So add under 192 to your NBA picks. Best of luck to you on this one. Make sure you check out a couple of my plays here starting next week. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of The Sharp Pick.